Yeah.
There you are.
It's reserved in another application.
I see.
You can't have Camtasia recording while you're doing Zoom. So
I get it. Well, listen, we got a bunch of people here. We even have Peter Wolfing, I see, in the queue here.
Peter, come in the talk.
Chiming in from a ship somewhere on his way to there. Well, that's not Peter Wolfing.
Oh no! Hey, Mark, good to see you.
Hold on, Mark. Hold on. I'm gonna drop you very gingerly. There you go. All right. Let me see if I can find Peter. Here he is.
I'm trying to get this.
Peter's coming in. He'll be here any second here.
Okay, great.
He's Peter from somewhere on Royal Caribbean. Peter. There he is. About ready to get started here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask that you eliminate any distractions, okay? Get rid of any distractions. You know, no multitasking right now. This is a game-changing training for those of you who are serious about your business. Get out a pencil and a paper, get some notes handy, and we'll get started. I'm going to pass it over to you, Victor, and of course, Peter is in the house.
Peter's in the house. Where are you? Are you just on the ship?
Yeah, I'm inside the ship right now. Check it out. Just got out of the jacuzzi. That's why I got a towel on me. I can't miss you, Victor. I can't miss you.
Well, thank you.
Now I have to see.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
I hear that voice. I know that voice.
That is so cool. Oh my God, look at that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just got out of the jacuzzi, and I was on the radio show before, and just over here living the internet lifestyle, you know.
Yeah, living large. I love it.
And yeah, so I had to get. I knew Victor was coming on to give some nuggets, so I can't pass the nuggets up. I got to get on here.
That's great.
Well, I'm going to do like a 10 to 15 minute introduction for people who don't know me, which is the same slides I gave in New York. And then we're gonna start off with our first big question, okay? And then I'm gonna tailor this whole series based on that. Good? So are you seeing my screen?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Here we go. Actually, I'm gonna record this on my end because we're gonna make a product out of this. 3, 2, 1, hit it. Welcome everyone. I'm Victor Grant, and we're going to be talking today about the Living Funnel. What is the Living Funnel? It's a brand of a funnel type psychology that mixes all the best strategies that I've learned over the last 20 years being involved in this industry. I'm going to give you a little mercifully brief introduction. That's me. I got my start as a talk show host at MSN, the Microsoft Network, but it was a different kind of a talk show. You had to chat. It was typing. So I interviewed a lot of celebrities in personal growth and leadership development, but internet at that time was on dial-up modems. So we had to have the guest in a headset, and I would talk to them, and we had a typist that would type in everything that was there. But we had thousands of people show up. I think Deepak Chopra brought in like 2,500 people before he was uber famous. Then I got into search engine optimization and keyword research, and I was advisor to authors, celebrities, and small business after MSN. From there, I became a chief technology officer in an e-commerce software company, and we pioneered the technology that you now see in Amazon as people who like this, hey, we suggest you buy that. We were inventing that in the early 90s. Actually, the late 90s. Excuse me. I created my own software to help rank in search engines, and then later evolved that into my own search engine called EarthGrid. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about that later. From there, I got interviewed in magazines, and then was written up in a book. It's kind of an anthology called Ready, Aim, Inspire. And I'm also a co-founder of the Digital Engagement Group, which is an agency based here in San Francisco with my partner, Bob Heyman. And I've been programming computers since age 13. So I've got a pretty extensive background in this space. So here's why my presentation is different. And I want you to think about, as you're watching this presentation, why would your presentations be different? And you please borrow these headlines at the very, very top here. I'm going to bring up my laser pointer and take notes on these headlines. Not so much about my content. This presentation isn't about me, it's about you. This is about you and your story. I'm going to be sharing with you my story. Find highlights and use my presentation to help craft your story. Maybe, Peter, we need to create something called You Story and You Ship. Anyway, so everything I'm going to share with you is always from actual case studies. I've tried it and tested it. And most of the stuff I find that a lot of other people are saying simply isn't true. And a lot of the stuff that works outside of internet marketing. Now, the stuff I'm going to tell you is stuff that works everywhere. We've produced an ROI across a wide range of industries: travel, real estate, legal, sports, music, and more. So let me get right. Okay, this is important to you now because the game has changed. I'm not going to go into every line on this slide, but this is important. Is it for you? Well, obviously, if you're here today, it's definitely for you, but you can do this. This isn't just about, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed with marketing. This is definitely for you, and you can do this too. So these are the house rules. I'm not going to teach you any get rich quick or fake black hat tricks or free lunch, and I'm not a big fan of free anything. People who know me, that I say, you know what? Pay for your email. Pay that $5 a month for your email and stop using free email, especially if you're in business. You're going to save gazillions of hours of pain in not having to deal with all of the politics associated with free email accounts. But I'm not going to get into that right now. So I do have an unfair advantage over most. I've been actively learning marketing since '87. I've been doing SEO since '96. And when I first started in SEO, I was approached by Tom Clancy's agency in New York City, and I did an SEO project for them. Back then, SEO was like, if you search for Tom wanted to find Tom Clancy in his books and his movies and things like that. But what instead people were finding were these fan clubs. He didn't like that, so we had to get rid of the fan clubs. And I got aware of Bob Heyman back in '95 because he coined the term search engine optimization. These are some of my early mentors. When I was 21 years old, I had a fateful meeting with this man right here, Robert G. Allen. He sat down at the bar next to me in La Jolla, California. I was going to college in UC San Diego, and we had a conversation, and he was doing a mastermind group, and he invited me to be his guest. Other people paid $3 grand to be in the mastermind group, and this guy, Mark Victor Hansen, sat right next to me as a student, and I learned marketing strategies. Then later I met this guy, Jack Canfield, at a leadership conference in Los Angeles that was called Income Builders International. And he inspired me to help write a proposal that ended up in this guy's desk. And he invited me to Seattle. They said, Vic, you got some great ideas. Why don't you come work with us here at Microsoft and help launch Windows 95? And I became part of the MSN team. So that's a little bit about my story. So a few years ago, I sort of got really cocky, and I want to caution you. As you get really good at this stuff in marketing and you start having your successes, don't let overconfidence. That's one of the big pitfalls. And I found that there was a real big problem in the industry. I knew how to get people to page one. And I took on a software hosting company, a very large company. And we spent thousands on traffic and testing, but what we found was the problem wasn't the traffic. We had plenty of traffic. We had tons of eyeballs. We couldn't get people to engage with their website. It wasn't enrolling enough. And that's why I'm naming this presentation The Living Funnel. Because if you have traffic showing up on your website, that's great. But if it's the wrong kind of traffic and the people don't buy from you, you're going to lose money. On the contrast, you can produce a return on investment with your advertising dollars if you bring traffic in there and they do buy from you, and they buy from you in an automated manner. And that's what we're focusing on here with UFunnel, is creating a system. And Peter has put all of these tools in the back office that allows you to have Peter and the team to tell the story, so that you don't have to necessarily share everything or have to have all the answers. It's about you. While I bring up this next slide, does anyone want, I saw some comments come in. Joe, can you summarize what was there?
I can. People are really enjoying themselves here right now. They're people. Somebody says, "Is John coming?" Remind him to wear his hat. And then we have, Tony Smith says, "You're cool, way cool. Isn't the U faculty great?" Says Peter Wolfing. So right now we just got a bunch of thumbs up. We don't have any other comment, but this is awesome. That's mainly what people are saying at this juncture, and I agree with them. I didn't know that stuff about you, dude. I had no idea what your real background was, and I'm blown away.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're at 8 minutes right now, so I'm right on time because I got a lot to cover. And hopefully you're taking notes, especially about the headings, because I want your homework assignment for all of you is to build a PowerPoint about you, okay? With the same headings. I'm gonna share, maybe I'll share a document about these headings. I did not author these headings. One of my mentors authored these headings. This is a formula for creating a presentation that allows to have that response. Hey, this is great, tell me more. And that's the response you want. So basically, I was overconfident and it didn't happen quite the way I wanted it to happen. And I now know the cause was because we hadn't really put the emphasis on the conversion side of things, the engagement side of things. So door number one, what do? Abandon everything, abandon search marketing and try something else. Maybe, I don't know, go become a speaker and promote books or something like that. Or I would just say, you know what, I'm gonna roll up my sleeves and I'm gonna build my own search engine and I'm gonna build my own search tools and I'm gonna make sure it's better than Google. And that was what I set on this quest to do. So actually there were 3 decisions. I decided how search engines really work, and I started teaching SEO at local community groups. And that's actually one of the ways that I met John was John had a meetup group in Santa Rosa, and each week he would bring leaders from the community and I would teach them search engine optimization. And then I decided to ignore everybody else, especially those people that email you every single day saying, hey, I'll get you to Google page 1, SEO services and all outlandish monthly guarantees. And then third, I decided to build my own search engine, EarthGrid, and make it better than Google. And people have used it, who are using it, actually do say they find results better than Google. But this is a David versus Goliath project. Now, disclaimer, I love Google. I love Yahoo, Bing, and AOL. These are the 2 big search engines that account for 99.9% of the search volume on the whole internet. I'm perfectly happy if EarthGrid gets 0.001% of the search volume of the internet, because then we could easily fund anything that we ever want to create in the entire universe. So maybe you can help me with that goal by using the search engine. It's free. So what I focused on then was building brands. I had a strong brand with EarthGrid. I created a keyword research software called Search Triggers. My partner who was here earlier today, we created a company called Recruiting that does market research for a lot of the huge companies like AT&T and Cisco and things like that. And then Digital Engagement Group, which I'm going to be talking a little bit more about later. And then the Living Funnel brand. And Living Funnel started about 3 years ago out of the pain of this client that I couldn't get them to sell their product online in an automated fashion. And I found that the tools out there like Lead Pages and ClickFunnels, they didn't have the living customization capability that I was craving in my marketing. And so I had to build something completely from scratch because that's basically what I do. So here's a couple of screenshots. I just saw a chat come in of my two primary things that I've been working on for the past decade or so. EarthGrid, the search engine, and you can see just a little example. I shot these this morning as I was preparing for this slide deck because I didn't really have that much on EarthGrid when I was talking in New York. But I just thought it's kind of cool. I thought, well, everyone's doing how-to, and you should do how-to as well. Well, if you go to earthgrid.com and you type in how-to and then you hit the space bar, you can see that number one was how to copy and paste. Now, this right here is what's called a heterodyne. I love that big word, but basically what we do is we take the suggested phrases from Google and we take the suggested phrases from Yahoo, Bing, AOL, and we combine them into one, and then we rank them in order of relevance. And that gives you like a digital snapshot of what's popular under any word, under any term, and you can do it in literally 1 second. And that was my goal with EarthGrid, was to create that simple strategy. So how to copy and paste. Well, then what you can do is you can bring how to copy and paste over to search triggers. And this is the tool in action. And you can see that how to copy and paste. Now, the big distinction of search triggers is it tells you exactly how many other pages truly exist. And we buy this data. This is not the data like when you go to Google, it says 300 million results or something like that. And then you later on keep digging in and you find out it's really not that many results. We buy this data from a database called Microsoft Azure. And once you're purchasing data from a real company, you actually get real numbers. So there are actually 10,900,000 how to copy and paste articles on the internet at this very moment. But take a look at this. How to copy and paste on Chromebook only has 43 pages. Now, if you were writing a blog post about how to copy and paste, would you just write it about how to copy and paste on anything? Or would you write it on Chromebook? Let's see how many people would say, I'd go for Chromebook. And Joe, feel free to chime in. This was the distinction I wanted. It's called a niche and a micro niche. Okay, how to copy and paste on Mac has 81,300. And you can see this bar right here, the Google rating. It's very long, it's very broad. What that means is that Google finds this really, really relevant, but Chromebook is the second order relevancy from 81,000 competitors down to 43. That's search triggers in a nutshell. It's a ninja gangster tool to help you get organic traffic to your blog, website, you name it. Cool?
Well, what would this mean to the average Joe, which is me? So if I was going to be blogging about copy and paste, I would specifically want to speak to this Chromebook because there's no competition.
Exactly.
Okay, so if there's no competition, but how many people are actually looking for this data? Is there a lot of people looking for the data?
There are a lot of people looking for the data because the bar is so long. Like I could show you, if you go to Google right now and you start typing in how to copy and paste and then you hit the space bar, you're probably going to see Chromebook showing up pretty high in the list of suggested auto-suggested phrases. Mm-hmm. So if you're the one that they see in that little drop down and you have this little spy tool that tells you, hey, guess what? Here are what the phrases are. And this is international, so this will work in any country, and it fetches the data from your local location. So this is what's trending for me right now where I live. But if someone was in Mexico or Argentina or Latin America, all these same results would show up in Spanish. It also works in any language. So Search Triggers runs in any different language. So to answer your question, Joe, you know, iPhone is third in terms of relevancy, but I just wanted to show this, that there are a lot of people who have bought Chromebooks. I guess because, you know, they're very inexpensive. You can get a Chromebook for like $100.
Wow.
And they're having challenges in how to copy and paste. You could open up that market by being the best article on that topic. And later on, if you want, I can show you a live demo of this. But let's get back to the presentation. So this was my SEO 1 and 101 class. And there's an interesting phenomenon that happens. And I live my life by it, and I think you ought to too. If you give, and you give in service, and you teach people, and you give more, then magic just happens. I don't know why this is. It's just the universe's way. But somehow the father of SEO, the man himself, Bob Heyman, who invented search engine optimization, that's him right there, just wandered into my class that I was teaching. There's my slide projector in this small, tiny little meetup group that I was doing at the local community. That's magic, okay? Now, who is this guy? Well, these are some of his former clients: IBM, Intel, Sony, eBay, Sotheby's. Later on today at noon, we're going to be talking with this company, Ring Central, a huge company, seeing how we can help them with their SEO. He asked me last January to become his business partner, and we founded the Digital Engagement Group, and we're focusing on teaching this strategy, marketing by the numbers. And a lot of what I'm going to be teaching you either today or over the next couple of weeks is going to be coming straight out of this book, Marketing by the Numbers. And I recommend everyone go out and pick this up on Amazon, How to Measure and Improve the ROI of Any Campaign. It's really going to help you hone your marketing. A little bit about Bob. He coined the term SEO, and he was also a lawyer and booking agent for Jefferson Starship, Nude Riders, The Purple Sage, a lot of the rock bands. I met him through one of my projects that I did when he created this film called Rock Justice. So I want to ask you all to become a mentor and ask yourself, what is that one skill that I was born to do that I would like to share with the world? And I think, you know, everyone who's here right now, you know deep inside of your heart that what that is. 80% of your success or failure is based on your beliefs and how you learn, not necessarily how to do something. The gap between knowing what to do and actually doing it is as wide as the Grand Canyon. So if you're ready, here is the next big question. And I would like to have this chat room just blow up. What is your single biggest online marketing challenge? Write that inside of there, because think about this. You have this gift you want to give to the world, but then you have these marketing challenges. And we're going to go into that. It's not easy. I mean, guys, this is the most challenging industry on the planet. Getting people's attention in a crowded economy, a crowded world, a crowded digital marketplace, you guys are going to be the best. And I'm going to focus on training you to make sure that you have your message reach the world. So what is your single biggest marketing challenge? This is what's holding you back from being uber successful in your business. So Joe, what are some of the chats that are coming in?
People are saying setting up my autoresponders, learning to do ads is difficult. I don't really see anybody else who's coming in here right now with, hold on, here we go. Standing out, knowing where to start by getting free traffic that attracts exactly my target market. Standing out in the marketplace, choosing a niche. Just came in from Sunita, the purple hair lady.
Okay, choosing a niche.
Right, creating valuable content consistently. Self-branding from Lofty. Closing.
Okay, so I hear a mix of tactical stuff as well as some higher level mindset stuff.
Mm-hmm. Closing
Okay,
comes from
so
Dale.
we're going to save this chat, and I'd like to go through these over the next couple of weeks and make sure every single one of these things is addressed and we have it on camera so that we use this vehicle to create these videos. Like you could take this video and slice it up into 5 to 6, 7 minute sound bites. And whenever someone has a question, bam, we just have an answer. Here's how you set up the autoresponder. Bam, here's how you use MailChimp. Here's how you use how to list a product inside of the U Marketplace. I could do I could train on each one of these things, and then you'd have like a 5 or 6 minute video. Would that be useful?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll go through that. I just want to give you the big overview right now of what I wanted to cover in sequence, because I think these are the things that are really going to drive your business home. Everything kind of fits into that. The first thing I want to talk about is content distribution. Okay, content distribution is a presentation. We're right on time, perfect. That we gave. I designed all these slides, and Bob delivered this in Las Vegas at LeadsCon. And so I'm going to start in with that. Then maybe at our next session, we're going to be talking about social media ads. And this is Facebook ads, Twitter ads, Instagram ads, and then, of course, search marketing, which is I have the most experience in. But Bob and I now treat search as the second tier. It's almost like a hockey puck. You have to have this whole team, and that's all your other marketing working for you, okay? And then search is like the last bastion. It's the reputation management. It's when people finally, they go, wow, what's this? This is really cool. Let me Google this company. Let me Google your name. And then they Google it, and then whatever they see is going to influence their buying decision right then and there. And like it or not, that's just the way it is. So we have to make sure that, have you Googled your name? How many people have Googled their name? And are you happy with the results? If you're not happy with results, you have to improve that. So I'm going to go ahead, and I see some more chats coming in here. Joe, before we go into this, I'm going to take a deep breath here. We're about halfway through.
Kelly says, appreciate this knowledge. She says, it is a jungle out there. Here's a sophisticated question. Somebody wants to understand the macro environment for social marketing.
I like the macro environment for social marketing. That's a deep question. I have to give it some thought. It's not something I can answer like right off the cuff. I would probably lay that out with a picture. I would say that Facebook right now is about to engulf Google. And a lot of people disagree with me, but a lot of people do agree with me. And there is a conglomerate that's forming where there's like an alliance between Microsoft, Facebook, Twitter, and they're all after Google. So Google's about to become the underdog. And that's why they're making all these investments in other things like self-driving cars and software and stuff like that. But already you start seeing search. Already Facebook is eclipsing YouTube. It's crazy. Even though they have the early mover advantage, Google's days are numbered and social is where it's at. That's my prediction. Within a year, we're going to start seeing those type of results happening. I think that Facebook is just amazing how it's grown. Okay, so I'm going to count down again, and we're going to go into content distribution. The reason I count down, and you want to do this when you're doing your videos, is it lets you know and also sets your mind that you're now moving into a different presentation. And I learned this from one of my mentors and dear friend, Alex Mendozian, who is a veteran marketer. And he and I did a number of events with Search Triggers a number of years ago. Great guy, love him. And he taught me this technique. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, hit it. Welcome, everyone. I'm Victor Grant here, and we're going to be talking about content distribution, creating engagement, and driving action. In my opinion, this is the missing link. This is what I've been missing in my business in search marketing, and it is going to change the way you market online. So content search and PR. This is my partner, Bob Heyman. He's the founder of the Digital Engagement Group, and we deliver this presentation over at LeadsCon in Las Vegas. It's a very, very extensive conversation all about generating leads and driving sales. So we're going to be talking about how to use content search and PR marketing, PR being public relations and press releases. In other words, using major media to attract attention. And earlier, if you saw my presentation where I gave you a little bit about my background, then you'll understand that the big challenge that we have is when someone Googles our name, that they find things about us. And if you don't have much press about you and your name's not really appearing in the press, then a lot of the other stuff, blog posts, fan clubs, or even just random stuff about you shows up online. Some things that you definitely probably don't even want to see. So PR and press releases are crucial in your online marketing strategy. And you want to start today in making that a monthly commitment that you do at least one press release every month. So you have to learn what to write about and how to write it and how to make it findable. Think a few steps ahead. Whatever piece of content, whether it's a tweet at the smallest level, or a Facebook post, or a blog post, you want to make sure that that is something that is going to stay there forever. It's going to be indexed, it's going to be searched for, it's going to stay there, and you can't get rid of it. It's even in archival form. So every single thing you do, you want to make sure it has a strategy behind it. We're also going to be talking about SEO and PR techniques to help you find your right audience. And that's what I use. I use search for my research in order to create campaigns in Facebook. Interesting concept. And we're going to understand the best practices that make content relevant, nimble, and evergreen. So let's dive in. Content marketing. What is content marketing? Well, there's a huge disconnect between content creation and its distribution. Attention is diminishing. And this is the news. Our attention span is now less than a goldfish, a Microsoft study found. It was 30 seconds in 1920 when the television ad spots started becoming a mainstream media. You know, if you've ever seen Mad Men, it was the dawn of the 30-second commercial for Coca-Cola, and that whole movement went forward. Well, right now, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you see it, the attention span of an ad is 8 seconds. That's why sponsors will pay enormous amounts of money and even design their ads during the Super Bowl so that DVRs can fast forward through them, and you'll still have that 8 seconds of critical branding messaging showing up as you're fast forwarding past the ad. And it's dropped 8 seconds since 2000. It was 12 seconds in the year 2000. Content and clutter is exploding. We live in the age of distraction. And take a look. I love this picture right here. You've got the car because there's a gal looking right here. It kind of really drives the point home. It's a boom. We have this like boom that's going on. There's so much content. 54,000 words daily are being consumed. That's the length of an average novel. And there are 443 minutes of video consumed every day per person. That's 4 Star Wars movies of media that's hitting you consciously or subconsciously. To view all of that content that's being manufactured right now, you would need to spend 12 hours a day with your attention. That'd be 4 football games, 48 sex acts, and 1.5 work days, just to keep up with the current amount of new media that's being hit at the average American every single day. And so who are you? This is an interesting topic right here. Normal users, they receive around 0 to 100 links a day. That's 47%. Crazy heroes like me, we have over 1,000 links or emails or calls to action or things showing up in our mailbox. Hey, take a look at me, look at me, look at me. And then the active readers are 100 to 1,000 links per day. It's crazy. That's 285 pieces of content. The average social network user processes 63% of it. I love this picture because this is your challenge, okay? This is why we're experiencing all the challenges that I asked you to list earlier, is because of this phenomenon. People are doing multiple things at the same time. They have to multitask. But anyone who's successful in business knows that the key to success is focus. What I use in my business is office time, whether I'm on the clock for a client or whether I am timing myself. I always start with office time, and I time doing my work in 15 to 20-minute bursts of time. Like even this presentation is scripted to be a specific delivery of information to you in a concentrated format that is going to deliver what others would deliver maybe over a 2-hour period. I'm going to deliver that to you in half an hour because I know that your attention span now is 1/4 of what it used to be. Our content creation strategy is very, very strong. There are lots of people out there creating content for the internet. And at least 60% of marketers create at least one piece of content each day. They blog daily. The marketers that call themselves marketers, they blog daily, they email their list daily, and they tweet it out. And 42% of the marketers say they're effective at it, or they believe they're effective at it. These are surveys. But the reality is our distribution is more like that of a pop gun. We essentially are dealing with a situation where we have a nuclear arsenal of missiles of content being created and manufactured and literally shoved down our throats, but our distribution strategy is like that of a pop gun. We're really in the dark ages. So this is an interesting slide. My avatar, which is a person who I've known, well, I've known this person for more than 15 years. We recently reconnected on Facebook, and she said that this is her very favorite slide. It's like the perfect slide. Familiarity trumps originality. Distribution trumps content. And let's see. Oh, here it is. That comes from this book right here, Hitmakers: The Science of Popularity in an Age of Distraction. If you want to understand why do videos go viral, why do some pieces of content be reached, this book goes into why that is. It's not what you think. It actually has to do with, like, a lot of people say, wow, I have this great original idea. I've got this fantastic idea for a book. And then you find out very quickly that no one really cares that you had that idea. And it's really sad because people have really great ideas. What people want today is familiarity. They want what they already have heard about before. Even the movies, like when I lived in Hollywood for a period of time, I went to a number of these Hollywood type parties and pitch parties where people are saying, and this is basically how the pitches go. They say, hey, I've got this great idea for a movie. It's just like this other movie that was successful and made this much money at that age, combined with this movie that made this much money, and it's going to star so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. Boom. That's your pitch. That's what people are looking for. That's what the media is like, and you got to be aware of that. And you can use tools like EarthGrid and Search Triggers to figure out the demand. If there's a lot of pages on it, then that's probably something that people are familiar with. A lot of people would run the other direction saying, well, gosh, copy and paste has 10 million people. How am I going to compete in the copy and paste market? And copy and paste is really, really, I mean, I kid you not, I've done some of these little things and made little YouTube videos, little 5-minute videos, and put them up there, and you get thousands of people. And now you're the expert doing these little how-to trainings. That is a huge way of reaching lots of people and making yourself an authority. So familiarity is where it's at, and that's what causes things to go mega hit, mega hit, mega hit, mega hit. Katy Perry, who has like, I think she has this one video that is like going to 1 billion views. If you look at her rhythmic content and her, they always have that sort of like little jingle in the background. There was a study done by, I think it was the author of this book, that a lot of these pop songs that hit the top charts and got the top Grammys, and they all had that same little jingle in them somewhere inside of somewhere inside the story. So distribution is the other factor. Okay, let's focus on distributing content. Inside of the U Marketplace, we're gonna have lots of content, and you can distribute it. You don't even have to author it. You could sell my presentation. You could sell Peter's presentation. You could sell any of the leaders inside of U Economy and their presentation and their content. And as you become really good at selling content, that'll give you ideas for the kind of content you want to author. Does that make sense? Let me see if we have any questions before I move on to the next slide. Because how many people would like to know the strategy that Bob and I use for doing content marketing and content distribution? Let's see if hands. Who would like to see that?
Linda says
Joe?
she would. I would. Absolutely. Val, Kelly, we got a whole bunch. They're pouring in. Karen Kruger, Lofty, Mark Loftus. That was a good question. I mean, we got more. The only other comment that has more activity is the 48 sex acts thing. We have a lot of people commenting on that. Tony, yes, the Super T, the one who's an award winner. Oh yeah, says Terry Smith. So I think you're onto something here. Another yes from Marion Barry, not the mayor. Yeah, I think so.
All right, you ready?
Ready.
Dr. Dolittle. Dr. Dolittle. Everyone go out and watch Dr. Dolittle. Okay. It's the push me, pull you. Okay? That is our strategy. We do push with PR and ads. Bob has software and the database of all the news editors in the entire planet. And we're focusing on a business that uses search triggers, the keyword tool I showed you earlier, to craft highly targeted, specifically engineered PR releases that reach magazines like Entrepreneur, Small Business Magazine, Home Business Magazine, Network Marketing Magazine, with your content, and then following that up with ads. So that anytime that your piece of content is out there with a blog post or a press release, the editor can Google you and they will find you. Okay? That's the key. Think of it this way. What if instead of Joe Blow on the street Googling and finding your blog post, what if the editor of Inc. magazine found your article and said, you know what, that's a great article. What do you say you pull it off of your website and we'll publish it in Inc. magazine? Well, that's exactly what happened to one of my clients. More on that later. I could show you exactly. If we have time, I have a slide on that exactly. We engineered an article and we got it actually removed from their website and placed inside of Inc. magazine. And that shot their business from here to there. I mean, it was just like, boom. It literally overnight. And so we want to start using mainstream media more and more and more. That's the way to get a hit. Okay? You can't just be relying on social media. You got to use the mainstream. And we can do that with PR and ads. And then the pull strategy. The pull strategy is once we have this PR and ads out there, people are going to go, oh, you know what? I saw that thing somewhere. What was that thing? What was that thing? I remember it the other day. And then they're going to go to Google and they're going to type in what they remember about it. And if they don't find you, they're gone. Okay? If they do find you and there is an integrated strategy that we can create with the push me, pull you, that's going to allow you to reach both of those things at the same time. And search also includes a pull strategy of retargeting and remarketing. And we do a lot of these type of campaigns at our agency. So search to us is word of mouth on steroids. Now, even though other mediums are out there, search still is, and it's supplanted all the other means of product research. People do due diligence. Search is no longer like, hey, I want to see what news is going on today. That's being pushed to you. But search is where people do their research. That's where people want to dive deep. That's where people want to go into the essence of your content. And it's the opportunity to intercept demonstrated purchase intent. Like if you run a Google ad that matches exactly what people are looking for, it will cause them to go there and make a purchase decision. You want to start using search in the right way. I so oftentimes see people do it wrong. The people who are doing it right, they use Google to send people straight to their offer. The people who are doing it wrong use Google to send people to their capture page. No, 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 no. Use Facebook to send people to your capture page. Use Google to send them to buy. Remember that. That's the key. That's the push me, pull you. Good example of that, of intercepting purchase intent, is putting a Chevy sign next to a Ford dealership. SEO, back in the early days, black hat, link farms, keyword stuffing, it'll now get you or your client banned. This is the stuff that also you'll probably get, I don't know about you, but I get at least 10 of these offers per day about people that will offer me SEO services from like $300 to $750 a month. How many of you guys get those kind of offers? I can't tell you how many clients we've taken on that have spent hundreds of dollars a month, maybe for a year, only to have no results at all from their search marketing, because they've hired one of these firms that says, hey, well, look, we actually did get you to Google page 1 on a term that no one's looking for that has nothing to do with your target audience. So content, authority, and relevance, frequency, and consistency, and backlinks still matter. Okay, these are the 3 things that I focus on in my SEO practice, is to focus on authority, building yourself as an authority. We do that through PR, making sure you're relevant, making sure you're frequent and you're consistent. If you're blogging daily, keep blogging daily. If you're blogging weekly, blog weekly. If you do twice a week, like some of my colleagues do, you want to make sure that you focus on a strategy that is pushing that out to Twitter and social media. I think that's probably the sweet spot. 2 blog posts per week on targeted topics, and that you plan them a week in advance at least, sometimes 2 weeks in advance. So that gives you a room to breathe and to relax. Peter was saying yesterday that in this industry, you could be on a cruise ship. You could be anywhere in the world. You could be creating content. Right now, Peter's creating content on the cruise ship. Hopefully he has a video camera with him and he's shooting lots of videos and sharing great wisdom and creating a product. That's the perfect place to create a product. Did you know that there's a new TV show called Shazam, or something Shazam? That I heard an interview with Jamie Foxx on about that, and he says that entire season. Now figure that's an entire season of that television show was shot in 1 week. And that was all that they needed from him. Every single day, they did 3 shoots a day, and they finished the whole thing in 1 week, 21 episodes. That's how media is being created today, and you want to model that in your business. So think about that. Shoot 3 videos in one setting. So if you do an hour of training like this, I'm going to break this up into 3 videos. That's why I have these time code markers where I ask questions and stuff like that, because I can go back into the video, slice that, put on a summary, a pre-roll and a post-roll at the tail end of it, and now I have my product. We could go more into the optimal product creation strategy, but all that's going to be available for you inside of what Peter and I are building inside of the uEconomy uFunnel system. Much more on that later. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about search volume, and then we're going to talk a little bit about long tail, and then I'm going to take some questions. Let's see. This right here is what's called the long tail, and every single one of you wants to be focusing on building that long tail. And what's interesting about that is the long tail actually attracts more buyers. And I'm just going to speak a little bit about Twitter. The best tweets we've tested are the ones that they breed curiosity. You've seen in my other presentation that curiosity is like the #1 thing you want to be focusing on, but you also want to have those right keywords in there. So these broad keywords, which are called the fathead, these are the very, very expensive keywords that everyone's trying to, to sell you. The top 1,000 keywords are kind of like right over here. This chunky middle, these are like 2 or 3 word combinations, but the long tail, which is like 3 or 4 word combinations, you can buy these keywords on Google for pennies. And I'm going to be showing you how to do that later on. So long tail SEO would be like a good example of the word shoes, okay? A 2-word phrase would be like men's shoes, and a more descriptive phrase would be like red Nike men's running shoes. And you want to think about building these long tail thoughts and linking them back to your capture pages and to your blog posts and to your sales funnels. Now, a couple of tips I'm going to leave you with. Never, ever put a link to any affiliate offer. It doesn't matter whether it's UEconomy, JVZoo, Amazon. You never want to put a link directly to that from a third party because it violates every single third party's terms of service. Facebook is a third party. You want to always send the traffic back to your own domain, something that is in your control, something that is branded as you, okay? Your own website, your own UFunnel page, your own blog post, even your own free Google. If you don't have a website, you can go create one for free on Google. There's a free website building tool with Google now. But make sure you drive the traffic back to that, and then from there have a button, and that button leads you right over to the call to action where they sign up inside of your business. If you just learn that one thing today from my presentation, you will probably be doing a lot better than everyone else out there who doesn't know that and doesn't know that they don't know that. And that's going to be the deciding factor in succeeding in your business. So there's a lot more that I can cover, but we've only got 10 minutes left. So let me take some comments from Peter and Joe. What do you think about what I'm covering right now? I could keep going, but there's a lot more to cover.
Well, it's wow, incredible, says Peter. Peter, if you want to come off, I can bring you back out onto the panel. I'm relatively new in this regard. Okay, I would say that some of the things that you're talking about, I understand the words, I get the language, but the application is something that is still beyond me. But I'm very, very excited that you're here because I'm getting that it's with the right guidance. It seems like it's going to be I can quick start. I can actually get into the game in a much more efficient manner. That's what I'm gleaning from here. Your depth of knowledge and information, though, it really is amazing. And like I don't even have a site. I always have just using a marketing site that's been provided for me. But all these years in the marketplace, I know that I've got I know I got value that I can bring to the table. I'm going to really be excited to implement. Mark Loftus wants to know, how do we follow up when they go to the product site directly without getting their contact info? Is a question from Mark Loftus. How do we follow up when they go to the product site directly without getting their contact info? That would be difficult.
Well, it's possible to do with retargeting. And what I recommend is you want to get them to go into your UFunnel, and then we're going to be introducing an upgrade to the UFunnel very, very soon that's going to allow you to do some of these advanced strategies. We're still working out the details on that, but God willing, that will be ready at the UEconomy launch in September. So stay tuned for that. That's going to actually make this entire process easy. But in the meantime, what you want to be focusing on is sending people into the UFunnel, into the capture pages. There's 3 capture pages. Let me see if I can find the URLs in here. Let me put those in here.
One of the things I've come to understand is that you don't have to understand how to build a jet in order to fly a jet.
That's very, very true.
So I'm really happy that you're here to really like put us in the cockpit, if you would, put us in the pilot
That's
seat.
what happened with U Economy, right? We do the jet. You guys just, you know,
Yeah, exactly.
we have. So Victor, I mean, you have so much information here, and I can sense from many people on here, and I know a lot, but I know I don't know that much, and I'm getting a little overwhelmed myself. So I can imagine people on here, they're thinking, wow, this is like so huge. How can I digest this? If you can whittle it down to 1 or 2 golden nuggets that you could give people right now, that you could say, hey, listen, just do this or just do this, what would it be?
Okay, first thing is use these links. Okay, Lead Toolbox, Dial a Miracle, and digitalfranchise.net. Use these links. Don't use any other links. Send people there and build a relationship with whoever shows up there. If it's just an email, send them an email. Send them a personal one-on-one letter. Then when we get into retargeting, that's a whole lesson. I could do a whole training on retargeting and pixels and all that advanced stuff. That's how you can bring them back, okay? That's the strategy that I personally use, is I actually want people to leave my website as quickly as possible because I want them to see my ad on yahoo.com, okay? I want them to go to Google and see my ad there because all of a sudden then they buy from me, okay? But that's advanced. The basic stuff is you want to capture the lead right away and you want to focus on it. The other thing is this slide that I shared in my webinar the other day. This is the most important thing you at this juncture need to be focusing on. Everything, and pay attention, pay attention. You've got to build up your Facebook fan page. Even though you want to have a nice Facebook account where you have personal relationships and you have lots of friends in your personal page, you can't advertise on your personal page. You have to advertise on a fan page. You have to clean up your Google relationship. You only want to have one username inside of Facebook. If you have multiple usernames, well, you got to pick one that you're going to use going forward. You have to craft your first Facebook ad. Do all of these 2 steps before, and you want to send them to your opt-in page, okay? There's nothing on the opt-in page that is going to cause any alerts in Facebook's universe. There's no affiliate links. All the links are already pre-coded to your user ID way down the lower levels of the funnel. And then you have to focus on building your email sequence. Everything I was talking today is all about building that engagement series. A sales letter and an ongoing relationship. All of these things are what you want to focus on. So the one thing that I would say you have to focus on is your Facebook fan page, your Facebook ads, and driving them to your opt-in page. All the search stuff comes in later because that's going to be the hockey puck that's going to cause them to want to buy from you. When they Google your name, they're going to go, wow, I really want to join this guy. I really want to connect with him. And that takes a little while to put together. So you want to dig deep into your past, dig deep into your successes, and make sure those, whenever you Google your name, that it shows up there. And if you need help, we can help you. Peter, does that kind of like drill it down?
Yeah, exactly. So it's a step-by-step process. This doesn't happen overnight. You just don't go, bam, I'm there, and everybody's going to find you. So it's a step-by-step process. At the beginning, what we want to do here with U Economy is say, listen, here's a few links that you can use. Just promote those links and let that do the sales process for you. And at that point, once we start doing that, we can start getting into all the advanced stuff to be able to start getting quality traffic, not just any traffic, but quality traffic over to you using what we have coming out called U-Tools. And Then if you want to start doing the advanced stuff, just, hey, get in touch with Victor, and he'll be able to start getting you into the retargeting and different things like that that are really going to start making things happen. So it's fantastic stuff. I think, Victor, when you get into that advanced stuff, that's probably going to be more into the academy levels that we have and not so much on an open webinar like this. But I think that's a lot more advanced stuff that I think people need to pay for to get to. So we'll be able to do that as well. So, guys, this is just a taste of the faculty, of UEconomy faculty, and the different things that we're going to be covering all the time. And I want you to be proud to be able to offer this information to people and to say, listen, UEconomy is different. We are kind of rising above what's out there of all the other stuff and saying, hey, listen, this is this much better. It is not just your copy and paste stuff out there. This is so much better and so much quality information. And we're going to be providing this to Victor and other very accomplished people in the field of network marketing and SEO and everything. So I can't wait to see the rest of the stuff here. I was mesmerized by the stuff here. So let me turn it back over to Joe and to Victor. You guys can close out the call. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Peter. Sail on. Sail on.
Yes.
So, so Victor, thank you very much for spending this time here with us today. I know that you have tons more that you can share. I know, though, that we're at the top of the hour and you have a format that you're following. I like Peter. I actually was and still am mesmerized. I've got 3 pages of notes, quite literally, listening to you today, and be implementing some of this stuff. You know, I like the very rudimentary, like I don't even have a fan page. I've got to go and build some of these fundamental tools. And I know I represent many, many people who are here. In UEconomy, you know, we have a lot of people who have, they're excited, they know the internet is there, they see what's going on, but they're clueless when it comes to implementing stuff. I remember way back at the beginning when I attempted to do some internet marketing way back when, I quickly realized that I was never getting the good information. You know, I set up a site, I bought
is that there's so much stuff out there. You look at everything, you're like, that's what happens to the human condition is, oh my God, there's so much stuff. Well, you do nothing.
I
right?
know.
There's so much stuff, then you freeze, you do nothing. I'm guilty of the same thing. I know you are. You just said you are, right?
Yeah.
So I don't even have to, because there's so much stuff. Wow, I can't digest all this, so I do nothing. Well, we want to make it bite-sized pieces, so this way you start to take baby steps and get there eventually. Because doing nothing is not going to help you. So you have to be able to get out there and do that and accomplish this stuff, and we're here to help you.
Well, and perfectionism equals procrastination. You know, it's never going to be done. It's never going to be finished. You just have to get into it and take action. I remember years and years ago when I attempted to become an internet marketer. I bought a product that I could resell, the resale rights. I had all this stuff going. And the person who sold me the fundamental tools, they started calling me constantly, trying to sell me more stuff and sell me more stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And finally I said, if you can introduce me to somebody who's actually making money using your stuff, because you're making your money selling your stuff, which is just tools and training that isn't really working for me, introduce me to somebody who's making money. And they never called back. They never called me back because that in itself is an industry, right? And
Exactly.
I know that and I get that. I respect what they're doing, but I know that we've got a huge opportunity here in UEconomy because there are millions and millions of people like me who put their toe in the water at some point and the water was boiling. I can remember the first time I received a bill from a company. I didn't even know that I had put my link on this site, and next thing you know, they're draining my Visa account. I called them up, I'm like, what are you guys doing? And they told me, well, you put your link on this thing. It was like that link was put there. It had no relevance. And so people were clicking the link to realize this is not for them, but I was paying for every single click. You know, and that's what goes on. That's what goes on out there. And so I'm really excited, Victor, for everyone, for myself, because you have such a wealth and a depth of knowledge, and you make it simple to digest and understand. And I can tell that the team that's assembled here really is they have that servant heart, right? You talked about it something. I wrote it down. You said give, and give more, and then the magic happens, right? I wrote it down because that's what's true. And so, you know, I want to thank you for bringing that level of transparency and purpose to the faculty. I'm excited, man. I'm really, really excited to be here. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And so much more to come. And let me know when we can deliver these UEconomy trainings.
Mm-hmm. that's Peter's call. Peter, I know there's a lot of stuff going on right now, but I'm really excited about U Academy, and the potential here is just overwhelming. It really is.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people have to realize that even though we're giving you some of these foundations, there's only a few things you really need to do, and that is to identify who are the type of people you want to market to, okay? And we made it really simple with these 3 capture pages. This is inside of your U Economy. The first market is network marketers, and you see how simple this is? There's no busyness. It's just a beach with a button. There's only one thing you can do. How I made a fortune because of 1 hour. There's a boat.
That's why Google is so popular, because when Google did their first page, all they had was a search box, and that was it, right? They're like, what is this?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? It was this. So simplicity, yeah.
So simplicity is really key. And then there's become the entrepreneur you wish to see in the world. That was like one of those, you have these life moments that you'll remember. That was one of my life moments with Peter. We went to the very top of the new building at the World Trade Center, World Trade Center 1, the largest building in the Western Hemisphere. And we shot some video there, and we had a chance to connect. And then we shot this photograph there, and then that's the photograph that people see. That the energy of that photograph, it just brings all of that invisibly to whoever you show that to. And that's right there for you at digitalfranchise.net. So we've been working a lot of the stuff behind the scenes, and it's just going to work, and you don't really know why it works. It just does work. And I think that's really the magic, is that we're all working together as a team. We're all working as a tribe, as a community. So it's really a blessing to be here.
Victor, sometimes people look at a capture page like that and they're like, wow, that's so simple. Anybody could do that. But there's a reason why there's a button like that. There's a reason why the color's like that, and the picture's like that, and the words are like that. And there's a reason why everything's like that, because it's been tested over and over and over and over and over again, right? There's a reason why everything's like that. It's not, we just didn't throw it up there and say, hey, we hope that sticks. There's a reason why, and the reason why was because you said, hey, that's not going to work. Let's do it this way. Do it because of your 25 years of knowledge and so on. So there's a method to all of this stuff as to why things are this way, why the colors are here, why the pictures are there, why there's one button at the beginning, and then you go into other buttons later on, why there's a process of engaging them and pulling them through. There's a whole formula behind that. And, companies spend millions of dollars to figure this stuff out. And Victor has, spent years and years of his time to learn this stuff. So, guys, just incredible stuff. So I can't wait to be able to give you some more of these faculty presentations. Just a reminder, guys, Monday also at 10 o'clock is the U Mentor. So it's 10 o'clock, not 2 o'clock. So make sure you make a note of that. And the PIN number will be in the back office as well, too. The title of it's called You're Perfect. And we already have everything we need inside here. We just have to access it, and we're going to talk about that.
Awesome. Thank everybody for being here today. Looking forward, Victor, to having you come back and take us to the next level in this discussion. I know that you will. As the Beach Boys say, sail on, sailor. Peter Wolfing. Yes. I don't know if you're familiar with that song. And for everybody out there in the universe, want to thank you for taking the time to spend this time with us here today. We'll be back weekdays at 12 noon Eastern at U Radio Live, and watch our Facebook page. There's only one authorized Facebook page. It is the hello. Okay, so you want to just check us out at U Economy Company. U Economy Company is the Facebook page that is the only authorized one. This video will be there along with the video from last night. Got a lot of stuff coming. Let's just take action, okay? Let's do some simple things. Again, Victor, you're awesome. Peter, be careful, and we'll see you guys on the radio.
All right, catch you later, guys. Bye.